Chapter 1. The First Contact. Captain Elias Ford stood on the observation deck of the International Space Alliance's command ship, his eyes fixed on the vast expanse of space. His crew shuffled nervously beside him as the alien ship, a sleek silver crescent, glinted under the distant sun's rays, drawing closer. "Signal coming through, Captain," reported Lieutenant Harris, her voice tinged with a mix of excitement and fear. "On screen," Elias commanded, his gaze unwavering. The screen flickered to life, revealing a creature with smooth blue skin and eyes like molten gold. "I am Zorak of the Zonian Galactic Explorers. We greet you in peace, Earthlings." Elias stepped forward. "Captain Elias Ford of the ISA. We return your greetings, Zorak." Zorak's eyes widened slightly as he studied Elias and his crew. "Fascinating. Our scans suggested primitive life forms, yet here you stand, capable of communication and space travel." "We've been navigating the stars for a while now," Elias replied with a tight smile. "What brings you to our corner of the galaxy?" "We explore seeking out new civilizations," Zorak replied. "Though candidly, we did not expect to find advanced life on a Level 1 planet such as yours." "Level 1? Elias arched an eyebrow. "Yes, a classification based on technological advancement and environmental challenges. Level 1 is the most basic, harmless category." Around Elias, the crew exchanged glances. Harmless was not a word they used for Earth. "Our planet has its dangers," Elias said calmly, "which we've learned to overcome." Zorak laughed, a rich, resonant sound. "I am eager to learn what you consider dangers, Captain Ford. Perhaps we can arrange a meeting." Elias nodded. "Perhaps we can show you what Earth and its people are truly about." "An intriguing proposition," Zorak mused. "We accept. Prepare for our arrival." As the transmission ended, Elias turned to his crew. "Prepare to welcome our guests, and let's make sure they get a real taste of Earth." Chapter 2. The Arrival. The Zonian shuttle landed in the ISA's main hangar. Elias greeted Zorak and his entourage at the airlock, extending his hand in Earth's gesture of peace. Zorak took it, his grip cool and firm. "Welcome to the ISA Starbound, the pride of our fleet," Elias began, guiding their guests through the corridors. Zorak looked around, his expression unreadable. Impressive for a Level 1 civilization. "Our achievements are born out of necessity," Elias explained. "Our planet does not coddle its inhabitants." In the conference room, Elias had arranged a series of displays, videos of hurricanes lashing coastlines, wildfires consuming forests, and humans battling and surviving in extreme conditions. Zorak watched, his face slowly losing its earlier amusement. "You face these regularly?" Zorak asked. "Indeed," Elias nodded. "And they help us grow, innovate, and protect what we cherish." As the tour continued, Elias could see the change in the Zonian demeanor. What started as amusement turned into grudging respect. "Your people are survivors, then," Zorak finally said, looking out at the stars through the viewport. "Perhaps we have more to learn from you than anticipated," Elias smiled. "Perhaps you do, Zorak. Perhaps you do." As the stars twinkled silently back at them, a new chapter in human history was on the verge of being written, not with Earth as a footnote of galactic civilization, but as a full participant. Chapter 3. The Galactic Council. The journey to the Galactic Council station was tense with anticipation. Elias Ford sat in his quarters aboard the ISA Starbound, reviewing notes and speeches, preparing to argue Earth's case. The station, a colossal structure orbiting a serene blue giant, was unlike anything humanity had encountered. Its design was a confluence of numerous architectural influences, with sweeping lines and illuminated pathways. Elias and his team were escorted through the grand hallways, their eyes wide with wonder. As they entered the council chamber, a vast circular room filled with delegates from across the galaxy, Elias felt the weight of his responsibility. He spotted Zorak among the assembly, who gave him a nod of recognition. "The assembly will come to order," announced a figure from the center of the room, her voice echoing off the high dome. We welcome Captain Elias Ford, representing the planet Earth. Elias stepped forward, clearing his throat. Honored delegates, I stand before you not only to introduce my world, but to challenge a misconception. Murmurs filled the chamber as Elias continued. Earth has been prematurely classified as a Level 1 planet. This classification underestimates not only our environmental challenges, but also the spirit of our people. A delegate from a species known for their advanced ecological technologies scoffed. Are you suggesting Earth is more formidable than our records show? Yes, that's precisely what I'm suggesting, Elias replied confidently. Our planet hosts extremes from hurricanes and earthquakes to predators that challenge our survival daily. A holographic display illuminated above Elias, showing footage of Earth's natural disasters and humans in various survival situations. The room fell silent, the delegates watching intently. Interesting, Zorak finally spoke from his seat. But survival alone does not merit a reclassification or membership to this council. Perhaps not, Elias met Zorak's gaze, but it does merit consideration and respect. We seek an opportunity to prove that our experiences have prepared us uniquely for the challenges of the galaxy. Another delegate, a tall, thin creature with shimmering skin, raised a hand. And how do you propose to demonstrate this? We welcome representatives to visit Earth, Elias suggested. Experience our world yourselves, or allow us to participate in your trials. Trials? The shimmering delegate asked, intrigued. Yes, Elias confirmed. Whatever tests or challenges you deem necessary to prove our capabilities and our worth. The council whispered among themselves, considering the proposal. After a moment, the central figure spoke again. Your request is bold, Captain Ford. We will deliberate and return with our decision. Meanwhile, your invitation is accepted. A delegation will visit Earth to witness its challenges firsthand. Elias nodded, satisfied. Thank you. We will be ready to receive you. As the meeting adjourned, Elias and his team exited the chamber, their mission clear. They had a brief window to prepare to showcase not only the dangers of Earth, but how humanity had adapted, evolved, and thrived despite them. Chapter 4. Showcasing Earth. Back on Earth, Captain Elias Ford convened an emergency meeting with top officials from the ISA and representatives from various nations. In the secure conference room, the gravity of their task was palpable as Elias laid out the plan. We have a unique opportunity, Elias began, pacing before a large digital map of Earth. A delegation from the Galactic Council will be visiting. We need to show them why Earth should not be underestimated. Dr. Lena Choi, a leading environmental scientist, nodded. We've got a plethora of phenomena to choose from: hurricanes in the Atlantic, volcanic activity in the Pacific Ring of Fire, and the biodiversity of the Amazon that includes some of the most dangerous species known to man. General Martinez, a seasoned military leader, chimed in. And don't forget human conflicts and survival in extreme conditions. We can demonstrate our tactical advancements and how they've been driven by necessity. Exactly, Elias agreed. We need to document everything, compile videos, reports, and live demonstrations. We'll need to cover a lot of ground quickly. The team split into groups, each tasked with showcasing a different aspect of Earth's lethal environment and human resilience. Elias headed the first group, focusing on natural disasters. In Florida, Elias and his team witnessed the devastation of a Category 5 hurricane. Cameras rolled as they helped with evacuations and documented the storm's ferocious power. Footage of towering waves and winds that snapped trees like twigs was captured, highlighting the ferocity Earth's inhabitants regularly faced. Next, they traveled to Indonesia to record the volcanic eruptions that were part of the locals' daily lives. Drone cameras flew over flowing lava, capturing the destruction and the awe-inspiring power of nature. Interviews with local emergency services showcased how people prepared and responded to such frequent threats. Meanwhile, Dr. Choi led a team into the Amazon. They filmed poisonous frogs, jaguars stalking prey, and swarms of insects, each segment detailing the dangers lurking in the dense foliage. They also recorded the methods indigenous people used to coexist with and even utilize the deadly flora and fauna around them. General Martinez's group was in the Arctic, documenting survival training with elite military units. They filmed grueling exercises designed to prepare soldiers for combat in extreme cold, highlighting human ingenuity in adapting to and overcoming the harshest environments. As each team gathered their evidence, they transmitted it back to ISA headquarters, where it was compiled into a comprehensive presentation. Elias knew that these images and stories would paint a vivid picture of Earth as a planet that bred survivors capable of handling not only their own world's challenges, but also whatever the galaxy could throw at them. Chapter 5. The Presentation. The day the Galactic Council delegation arrived on Earth was marked by a flurry of activity. Captain Elias Ford, alongside his diverse team, prepared the ISA headquarters for what he hoped would be a transformative presentation. Elias greeted the alien visitors with a firm handshake or the customary greeting of their species. The delegation consisted of several races, including the contemplative Zorak from the Zonian race, who seemed particularly keen to witness Earth's purported dangers firsthand. "Welcome to Earth," Elias began, addressing the group in the grand auditorium filled with screens and interactive displays. "Today, we not only share with you the challenges of our world, but also the spirit of our people who thrive in these conditions." The lights dimmed and the first video began to play. It featured hurricane footage, violent winds ripping through coastal towns, torrential rains flooding streets, and people in the midst of evacuation yet helping one another amidst the chaos. The raw power of nature was undeniable, and several delegates leaned forward, watching intently. Next, the screen split into three, each showing different aspects of Earth's volatile nature. One displayed the eruption of a volcano, another the dry, cracking ground of a drought-stricken area, and the third a blizzard sweeping across a northern city. Each scene underscored not just the challenges faced, but the measures taken by humans to predict, prepare, and persevere. Dr. Lena Choi took the stage to discuss biodiversity. "Here on Earth, our flora and fauna can be as dangerous as they are beautiful." The screen showed vivid images of colorful but venomous frogs, large predators like bears and tigers, and swarms of locusts covering fields. She explained how humans had learned to use these elements for medicine, food, and other survival tools. General Martinez presented next on human resilience. "Our military and emergency services are trained to operate in any environment Earth throws at them. Live feeds showed firemen battling wildfires, soldiers navigating treacherous terrain, and rescue operations during floods." As the exhibition continued, Elias noticed the changing expressions of the delegates. What began as skepticism seemed to evolve into a mixture of respect and concern. Following the presentations, Elias invited the delegates to a series of live demonstrations. They were taken to a coastal area where they witnessed a controlled but live water rescue operation under storm conditions. Next, they visited a seismic monitoring station near a fault line experiencing a mild simulated earthquake. Zorak, who had been quietly observing, finally spoke. "Captain Ford, your world is indeed unlike any we have encountered in terms of its relentless challenges. Your people's ability to adapt and survive is impressive." "Thank you, Zorak," Elias replied, sensing a shift in their perception. "We believe these traits are invaluable not just for surviving on Earth, but for contributing to the Galactic Council." As the day ended, the delegation returned to their ship, deep in discussion among themselves. Elias and his team debriefed, feeling cautiously optimistic. They had shown their visitors a side of Earth that went beyond simple survival, highlighting the ingenuity, courage, and unity of its people. Now, it was up to the delegation to decide Earth's fate within the galactic community. Chapter 6. The Trials. After the delegation's visit, the atmosphere at ISA headquarters was one of cautious optimism mingled with tense anticipation. Captain Elias Ford and his team awaited the Galactic Council's response, hopeful yet prepared for any outcome. 2 weeks later, Elias was summoned to a secure communication room for a live transmission from the Galactic Council. The screen flickered to life, revealing a gathering of the Council's delegates with Zorak at the forefront. Captain Ford, after considerable deliberation, we have decided to extend a unique challenge to your planet, Zorak announced, his voice carrying a mix of solemnity and intrigue. Elias straightened, his focus sharpening. We're ready to hear it. Your exhibition showcased Earth's formidable environments and the robustness of your people. Now we invite you to demonstrate this resilience under controlled conditions on a galactic scale, Zorak continued. You and a team of your choosing will face a series of survival tests on various Class 8 planets' environments that are among the harshest known to us. Elias nodded, his mind already racing through possible team members and strategies. We accept your challenge. When do we begin? The trials will start in 1 month. You will be given details about each environment beforehand to prepare accordingly, Zorak replied. Success in these trials will not only secure Earth's membership in the Council, but also establish humanity's reputation as a robust and capable civilization. Thank you, Zorak. We will be prepared, Elias responded, determination etching his features. Over the next few weeks, Elias assembled a diverse team of experts. Dr. Lena Choi for her environmental science expertise, General Martinez for tactical operations, and other specialists in fields ranging from medicine to engineering. Together, they underwent intensive preparation, studying the conditions of Class 8 planets and simulating possible scenarios. Chapter 7. Tarac 4 Trials. The first test was to take place on Tarac 4, known for its toxic atmosphere and extreme temperatures. The team trained in environmental suits designed to withstand the planet's harsh conditions, practicing their movements and procedures until they were second nature. Finally, the day arrived, and the team boarded the ISA Starbound bound for Tarac 4. Upon landing, they were met with a landscape of desolation volcanic vents, spewing acidic gases and ground temperatures that could melt standard gear. Elias led his team through each challenge, from navigating through a labyrinth of razor-sharp rock formations to administering first aid in a toxic storm. Each task was monitored and recorded by the Council's drones, transmitting every success and failure back to the watching galaxy. The trials were grueling, pushing each member to their limits, but Elias's leadership and the team's unyielding spirit saw them through. They adapted quickly, using the harsh conditions to their advantage, displaying the same ingenuity and perseverance that had kept humanity thriving on Earth. As they returned to the ISA Starbound after the final trial, Elias couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. They had faced one of the galaxy's deadliest environments, and had come out alive and successful. The message to the Galactic Council was clear: underestimate Earth at your own peril. Chapter 8. Varara, 3 Trials. Having survived the toxicity and volatility of Tarac 4, Captain Elias Ford and his team prepared for their next trial, the perilous terrain of Varara 3, known for its intense gravitational fluctuations and deadly electromagnetic storms. As the ISA Starbound descended through the storm-laced atmosphere, Elias briefed his team. Varara 3's gravity fields are erratic. You'll feel weights shifting constantly, which can disorient and exhaust even the best of us. Stay alert and stick together. Dr. Lena Choi, geared up in her specialized suit designed to stabilize her body's internal pressures, nodded. I've modified our suits to adapt to the changing gravity, but it's going to be rough. Watch your step and use your gravity boots to stay grounded. The Starbound touched down amidst a landscape that looked like a painter's chaotic brushstrokes, jagged mountains here, deep chasms there, all under a sky crackling with electric fury. Visuals are one thing, but this planet's electromagnetic pulses could fry our equipment, General Martinez added, checking his gear's shielding. Keep communications short and shielded. If we get separated, regroup at designated checkpoints. The team disembarked, finding themselves in a world where the ground beneath their feet hummed with unseen forces. Their first challenge was to navigate a valley that the locals called the Maze A, series of narrow passes with fluctuating gravity levels that could crush or repel a person without warning. Elias led the way, his gravity boots thudding heavily as he tested each step before moving forward. "Stay close. Watch the person in front of you and mimic their steps," he instructed, his voice barely audible over the whining winds and electromagnetic charges that lit the dark sky. As they made their way through the maze, a sudden surge in gravity pinned them momentarily to the ground, squeezing the breath from their lungs. They paused, waiting for the wave to pass before continuing their painstaking progress. "Everyone okay?" Elias called back, receiving thumbs-ups in response. They pressed on, navigating through the increasingly complex terrain, their path illuminated intermittently by bursts of natural lightning revealing the eerie beauty of Varara 3. Finally, emerging from the maze, they reached their objective, a geological research station abandoned due to the extreme conditions. Their mission was to retrieve data from the station core, data that could help the Galactic Council understand and possibly tame environments like Varara 3. Inside the dimly lit station, they split tasks. Elias and a technician worked on accessing the data core, while Dr. Choi and General Martinez set up environmental monitors to assess ongoing conditions. Outside, the station creaked and groaned as another electromagnetic storm approached, the lights flickering ominously. "We don't have much time," Elias noted, his hands moving quickly over the data terminal. "This storm could wipe the station systems clean." With seconds to spare, they extracted the data core, securing it in a protective case. The team made a hasty retreat back to their ship as the storm unleashed its fury, electromagnetic waves crashing around them like tidal waves. Back aboard the ISA Starbound, Elias looked over the retrieved data with a mixture of relief and satisfaction. They had not only survived the trials of Varara 3, but had also managed to secure valuable research. Chapter 9. Kaisar 7 Trials. After overcoming the severe challenges of various Class 8 planets, Captain Elias Ford and his team faced their final trial, which would be their most daunting yet, a simulated combat operation on the desert planet of Kaisar 7. The Galactic Council had designed this to test not just survival skills, but also strategic thinking and combat readiness under extreme conditions. Kaisar 7's environment was harsh. Endless dunes of scorching sand, periodic sandstorms, and extreme temperature fluctuations from blistering heat in the day to freezing cold at night. The Council's observers from a safe distance set the parameters. Elias's team would need to capture a series of beacons placed deep within a labyrinth of canyons, all while opposing forces tried to thwart their efforts. Before disembarking from the ISA Starbound, Elias gathered his team for a final briefing. "This isn't just about physical endurance or navigating an environment," he said, looking each team member in the eye. "It's about working together under pressure, making smart decisions quickly, and adapting to every new twist. We need to think like the commanders of old Earth's history, using guerrilla tactics if necessary." General Martinez, experienced in desert warfare, took the lead on strategy. "We'll move at night to avoid the extreme heat and use the sandstorms as cover. Our enemies might expect that, but it's our best shot at minimizing exposure and keeping the upper hand." As night fell on Kaisar 7, the team, equipped with night vision gear and thermal cloaks, made their silent descent into the canyon maze. Their movements were deliberate, with scouts positioned to signal any incoming threats. The operation's initial phase went smoothly, with Elias and his team successfully capturing the first 2 beacons without alerting the opposing forces. However, as they approached the 3rd beacon, a sandstorm swept through the canyon, reducing visibility to near zero and throwing their plans into disarray. "Stay together and proceed to the rendezvous point," Elias shouted over the howling wind. Each team member had been drilled on the location, a small cave system where they could wait out the storm. Huddled in the cave with sand and wind roaring outside, the team used the time to reassess their strategy. Dr. Lena Choi, checking her equipment, noticed a pattern in the storm's behavior. "These storms aren't random. They're being triggered. We can predict their next occurrence and use that to our advantage. Using this new information, Elias devised a plan to launch a surprise attack during the next storm, using the chaos as cover to capture the final beacon. They won't expect us to move aggressively in these conditions, he explained. As predicted, the next sandstorm began just as they reached the outskirts of the beacon location. Masked by the storm, Elias's team used the confusion to infiltrate the area, silently taking down guards and disabling alarms. With precise coordination, they secured the beacon just as the storm was abating. Emerging from the storm and the battle victorious, Elias's team planted their flag at the final beacon, signaling their success. The observers from the Galactic Council, monitoring the operation, were impressed by the ingenuity and determination shown by the human team. As the sun rose over the sands of Kaisar 7, Elias and his team awaited the official results. When the confirmation came that they had passed the final trial, a cheer erupted among them. They had not only survived, but had also demonstrated the strategic and combative capabilities that defined the best of humanity. Their success here was more than just a victory in a trial. It was a testament to human ingenuity, adaptability, and spirit, qualities that would now surely earn Earth a place in the Galactic Council. Chapter 10. Galactic Council Decision. With the trials completed, and each challenge met with indomitable spirit and cunning, Captain Elias Ford and his team awaited the final decision of the Galactic Council. The auditorium, where they had first been introduced to the galaxy's diverse representatives, was now filled with an air of expectancy. As the council members took their seats, the silence in the chamber was palpable. Elias stood with his team, his posture calm but his heart racing with anticipation. Beside him, Dr. Lena Choi and General Martinez shared quiet looks of reassurance, the bond formed through their trials evident in their unity. The head of the Galactic Council, a venerable figure known for her wisdom and fairness, rose to address the assembly. We have observed the representatives from Earth as they faced some of the most challenging environments our galaxy has to offer, she began, her voice echoing through the chamber. Not only have they survived, but they have also excelled, demonstrating qualities that are both rare and invaluable. The room filled with murmurs from the assembled delegates, a mix of surprise and admiration. Zorak, who had initially doubted Earth's capabilities, now nodded in approval, his earlier skepticism replaced by respect. The decision of the Galactic Council is unanimous, the head continued. Earth will be granted full membership into the Council. We welcome our new members and look forward to the contributions they will undoubtedly make. A resounding applause broke out in the chamber, the sound a sweet symphony to Elias and his team. They had not only proven their worth, but had also opened a new chapter for humanity, a chapter of interstellar cooperation and shared knowledge. After the ceremony, Elias addressed the assembly. On behalf of Earth and its people, I thank you for this honor. We are eager to contribute, to learn, and to work alongside each of our fellow member civilizations. Today marks not the end of our trials, but the beginning of our journey together. The celebration that followed was filled with a sense of camaraderie and excitement about the future. Representatives from various planets approached Elias and his team, expressing their eagerness to engage with Earth on numerous projects, from environmental restoration to advanced technological research. As the festivities continued, Elias took a moment to step away, looking out at the stars from the observation deck of the council station. The weight of their new responsibilities was not lost on him, but he was buoyed by the potential for positive change and growth. Chapter 11. A New Dawn. The story concludes with Elias reflecting on their journey from being underestimated and mocked to earning a place among the stars. Humanity had shown its true strengths: adaptability, resilience, and a profound capacity to overcome the odds. Now, as part of the Galactic Council, Earth was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, not alone, but as part of a vast and diverse community of civilizations across the galaxy. As Elias looked out at the stars, he felt a deep sense of pride and anticipation. The journey had been arduous, but it had forged a path for humanity's future among the stars. And in this new dawn, the possibilities were as endless as the cosmos themselves.